This is going to be the yearly horoscope for Cancer for 2023. So let's get started. As we are starting the year, you're going to be dealing with a Mars that is currently in your 12th house of secrets and solitude. Now, Mars went through a retrograde in this same sign and house back on October 10th, 2022 through November 14th, 2022. Because of that Mars retrograde, Mars pretty much was in this same sign and house for about 7 months and will continue all the way to about the end of March. So this could be a time that you are possibly still dealing with issues, maybe health related issues, maybe taking care of your health and well-being, and this could be also in relation to someone else's health and well-being. Also, as you get into the year, Jupiter will currently be in your career house all the way till May 16th. So, this is definitely a time of opportunity for promotions, advancements, maybe to start a business or business venture before it moves on into your 11th house of friendships, groups, and organizations. Now, Jupiter will move into your 11th house on May 17th all the way till the end of 2023. Now, one of the things that I do like when Jupiter goes from your 10th to your 11th house is that if you started a business or side business, business venture when Jupiter was in your 10th house, moving into your 11th house, Jupiter in the 11th house actually deals with the income of side ventures or businesses. So if you are working towards a business income, Jupiter in your 11th house actually helps in building up that income. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be big profits or big money, but this could be an increase, an opportunity to bring in more money, more stability, more security. So I love Jupiter in the 11th house for that. Also, it's going to be a time of more friends, getting involved in more groups, communities, organizations, building more of a networking, clientele, customers, great social presence, whether it's social media, getting an event, participating in events, putting on more parties, like I said, more events, maybe to build a network. This could be great if you're looking to build a clientele, a customer base. And again, because it could easily help you in bringing in more money, more stability, more security. So it's a great social time. Obviously, Jupiter in your 11th house will be there all the way to the end of December and into 2024. Now, Saturn will still be in your eighth house of joint resources, taxes, credit cards, and loans all the way to March 7th. Then from March 8th all the way through the end of 2023, Saturn moves into your ninth house of long distance trips, foreign people, and places. This is actually an opportunity and a time where you may get into um, like long distance opportunities, trips, ventures. Also, maybe getting into studying, whether it's going to college or schools or taking on classes and courses to further your career. And this could actually even be a time of broadening your horizons, learning something new, building more stability, more security. Saturn also rules the ninth house of the courts. If there are any issues relating to the courts that you have to take care of, maybe if you're going through a divorce, this could be maybe issues dealing with that. So, Uranus will be in your 11th house all year alongside with Jupiter. So, Jupiter and Uranus in your 11th house, I think, is going to be a very adventurous and exciting time for your social life, for building, like I said, communities, building connections, socializing, meeting new people. So, that should be quite interesting. Neptune would still be in your ninth house all year. Now, Pluto will be from still in your partnership house, but then will start moving into your eighth house on March 25th. So, the way Pluto's going to be working for you in 2023 is that it's going to be from your partnership house into your eighth house from June, no, from March 25th through June 12th. Then, because of a retrograde cycle, it will move finally back into your eighth house Then in 2024, it'll move back into your partnership, but then in 2024, it'll then move forward into your eighth house. Now, a quick piece of information that I did want to point out about Pluto in the eighth house. There could be the possibility of issues with lawsuits, whether it's because of going through a divorce, child custody situation, maybe it's a settlement, or maybe revolving inheritance, lawsuits of other separate things. There could be the possibility of that. It could easily bring financial benefits through like inheritance, settlements, gifts, rewards, maybe through games of chance, maybe through bonuses, commissions, sales. Maybe you gain through side ventures, and so you gain through these side incomes. But like I said, the negative could also bring about possible issues with financial disputes. So maybe if anything, it's, like they say, dot your I's, cross your T's, so that things don't come at you surprisingly last minute somewhere. And just taking part of that, just being aware, but financially, I think could easily bring you great opportunities, great benefits. So it goes back, Pluto goes back into, returns back into your partnership house, like I said, from June 12th through the end of 2023. Then in 2024, it'll go into your eighth house. Again, if you are dealing with any issues relating with divorces, settlements, uh, separations, breakups, this could all be part of relating to all this. But this could also be a time where you are putting in more focus on your needs in relation to working and collaborating with someone else. Doesn't have to be a personal relationship. It could be business partners. It could be collaborations with others to further your career. And maybe this is a time of dealing with these issues and moving forward. Um, so you know about Mars, and then we're finally going to be dealing with a Venus retrograde on 2023. Now, with this Venus retrograde, Venus will be in your second house of earned income. So Venus will be in your second house from June 2nd through October 9th. But the Venus retrograde will be from July 23rd through September 4th. Now, Venus in your second house rules earned income, rules what you value, whether it's investment items. Investment items could be like a vehicle, a computer, something of a big purchase, even a home. Having it in your second house could possibly create issues with items of this magnitude. Um, Not to say you are going to be guaranteed running into a problem, but just be aware that sometimes it could relate that there could be issues with income. There could be issues with major purchases. I try to advise as much as possible that if you can avoid purchasing a vehicle during a Venus retrograde, try to do your best to avoid it. I can understand sometimes some things are very difficult to avoid. If there's an accident or your vehicle just falls apart, because it's already old or something and you have no choice but to replace it. I can understand it. That's you have no choice. But especially if you're looking maybe to purchase a whole new vehicle or something, maybe try to see if you can do it before the Venus retrograde hits. Not when Venus is in your second house, just during the time of the Venus retrograde, which again, July 23rd through September 4th of 2023. Maybe if you can try to do it prior to that, I think will work out very, much, much beneficial for you. Um, Venus also, in the second house rules your earned income, money that you're working towards. Uh, Maybe you don't get paid the proper, amount you're supposed to. Maybe money that is missing. Um, Maybe you feel that you are valued at more than what you're making, and it's time to make a change. Especially if you feel like, hey, I'm not going to get ahead at the amount that I'm making right now. Time to make a change. This could also put you in a position or in a situation where you need to make these kinds of changes, or else you're just never going to advance or gain more for yourself. So, this Venus retrograde could easily put you in a situation where you need to start being more open to what else you could do for yourself. Now, I have a Venus retrograde article on my website that lists a lot more in detail about what to expect during a Venus retrograde. But for you to be having it in your second house of earned income, it does concern me a little bit when it comes down to the financials. But I think if anything, it's just really just being more aware of possibilities so you can handle it a lot better just in case if the possibility happens to be that some issue happens to come up. You are more prepared and can easily handle it and handling it at a much better pace. But overall, just kind of take the understanding that Venus also in the second house brings you more money, more financial opportunities. So, if anything, I think this will open up the door for you to make more money, build more financial security, and build more income for yourself. So, this could easily also bring about, like I said, more job opportunities and building more income for the long term future. So you're going to be having four eclipses this year. Now we are going to be transitioning from a Taurus Scorpio eclipse to an Aries Libra eclipse. So the first eclipse that you're going to have in Aries, which happens to be in your career house, will be on April 20th, and that will be, like I said, in your career house. It's definitely going to be a time of possible changes in your career. This could be maybe a promotion, advancement, maybe going from your 9 to 5 job to pursuing a business venture, maybe even taking greater chances, greater risk to pursue a business or side venture, or even completely changing jobs or career paths. Now, every eclipse the energy of every eclipse lasts 6 months. So this could be a time of transition that begins now, but it could even transition into all the way into 2024. So having it in your career house is going to be quite significant because it can easily bring about, like I said, opportunities of change, but opportunities that can bring you more money on the long term. Now, on May 5th, you're going to have a full moon lunar eclipse, and that will be in your fifth house of love, children, and creative projects. So, the next 6 months could bring about love. Maybe you find love or fall in love. Maybe you hear news of a baby on the way. Maybe you spend more time with children. This could also be a time where you get involved in sports or hobbies, or even a creative project like music, movies, videos, crafting, creating. Maybe you decide to write a book or craft or create, like I said, to put together a project. It's also going to be a very social time for you. So, this could bring about great opportunities, great connections, maybe meeting somebody new or building new connections and building opportunities to connect, whether it's for your career, networking, or just being social and outgoing and building new connections in that sense. But overall, the energy is going to be quite active and quite social, but definitely could easily bring about more friends and more connections. Now, the new moon, a solar eclipse on October 14th, will fall in your fourth house of home. So, the next 6 months could actually bring a time to relocate, renovate, make changes around the home. Maybe you need to make some repairs or renovations around the home. Maybe someone moves in or moves out. This could also be where maybe you relocate for your career, for a job, or to be closer to a place of work. It could also be maybe you start working at home or putting business or work from home. But it's a very great time. I think, if anything, the energy is going to be very active, very uplifting. I think the energy just brings so much opportunity here, and this could easily bring about great opportunities, great results, great connections, and the overall energy, like I said, could be a very beneficial time for you with the home environment. Now, on October 28th, there will be a full moon, a lunar eclipse on your 11th house of friendships, groups, and organizations. Again, every eclipse lasts 6 months, so this is actually a great social time for you, great connections. My only little thing that I would say is that you may want to be careful when it comes down to maybe be aware that sometimes maybe some people might make greater promises than what they keep. if you are building new connections, that they could be making a promise that they can help you to prosper and grow and make more money or build more greater income or something, and then nothing really pans out, or not much pans out like the way they made it seem it was going to happen. So just something to be aware of, that take in the information, but also be open to other resources too. Overall, it's a great social time to make more friends, build new connections, meet new people. Maybe you find yourself to events or parties. Maybe you put together more events and parties. But again, like I said, this is going to be a great social time for you, great opportunities to build great connections. If anything, I like the full moon lunar eclipse from May 5th because I think it's actually going to be a great social time for you. But then also this full moon lunar eclipse that we have on October 28th and the 6 months after that, both such a high energy social time for you, that I think this is going to be great when it comes to meeting new people, building new connections, getting out. Maybe you meet somebody significant in your life, whether it's for love, for relationships, financial reasons. Maybe it's a mentor or guide, but I think could easily bring great connections, great opportunities. Could be financial, could be for social, but I think you'll really enjoy the connections that come for you. So I did have some love and relationship dates for you to keep an eye out for. Now, these are just dates that I feel are significant that stood out to me. But as we go through the year on the monthly horoscopes, I will point out more dates to keep an eye out for. So for love and relationships, we have January 5th, January 14th, January 29th. Um, Now, January 29th seems to 29th and August 9th seems to be dates that I feel you're willing to take greater chances at love. Whether you're with already someone or looking to go meet somebody, like those are moments where maybe you're willing to go out like on a blind date or get on a dating app, willing to take greater chances. February 4th, February 19th, March 30th, May 12th, June 11th. I already said about August 9th, September 21st, and November 21st are definitely going to be significant days that I feel are looking great for love and relationships and even meeting somebody significant. Now for career and finances. January 4th, April 11th, May 4th, May 12th. Um, so July 2nd and September 29th are days that I feel you'll be kind of thinking to take a risk or take a chance when it comes down to a finances. This could be a financial transaction, a purchase. Doesn't necessarily mean it's something that will work out best for you, but it could be something that can easily be beneficial, maybe not. It just depends. It might be a situation where you just want to be careful on how you spend your finances. August 1st, August 9th, and like I said, September 29th. So remember, as I mentioned, that August 9th also relates to love and relationships. So it's just going to be a time where, like I say, you're willing to take greater chances. And this could actually even put you in a situation where maybe even to take a leap on something that you have been thinking about but never took those chances on. And now this could even be a situation where maybe leaving your regular 9 to 5 job for something to do more independently. Maybe leaving one job to start something different, or even something as simple as going back to school, taking classes or courses to further your career, maybe taking greater chances to take that next leap in your life. So definitely keep an eye on those dates. Throughout the year, I'm going to be mentioning much more dates to come. But in the meantime, you definitely have a lot to look forward to and some significant changes that I feel are going to be coming for you for 2023.